Thank you for pressing play. Your presence here brings joy to my heart. Hello and a warm welcome to our channel. Today, we're delving into Ohio Graduation Test. The Ohio Graduation Test (OGT) is the high school graduation examination given to sophomores in the U.S. state of Ohio. Students must pass all 5 sections: reading, writing, mathematics, science, and social studies in order to graduate. Students have multiple chances to pass these sections and can still graduate without passing each using the alternative pathway. In 2009, the Ohio legislature passed an education reform bill eliminating the OGT in favor of a new assessment system. The development and transition of replacement began in 2014 and will end in 2022. Get ready to uncover the mysteries surrounding history as we navigate its intriguing terrain. Prior to the OGT, passing the 9th grade proficiency test was required for graduation beginning with the class of 1994. It had the same 5 subjects. Apart from the social studies test was referred to as the citizenship test. In 2001, the Ohio legislature directed the Ohio Department of Education (ODE) to develop the OGT based on the soon-to-be-adopted academic content standards. The first official OGT was given in March 2005. It replaced the 9th grade proficiency test as a graduation requirement for the class of 2007. The last administration of the 9th grade proficiency test was in 2005. Brace yourself for a deep dive into development as we explore its impact and relevance in our evolving narrative. Questions are developed by ODE staff, sent through committees, and placed on exams before official inclusion on the OGT. First, the Content Advisory Committee runs the ODE-developed question past parents and educators to see if it addresses the content. Second, the Fairness Sensitivity Review Committee helps ensure that questions are fair and do not put any student at a disadvantage because of a student's moral values, social status, or religious beliefs. Third, the question is field-tested. It is placed on an exam, but does not count towards the score of the student. Finally, the committees evaluate the performance data and decide if the question is to be used. As we move forward, let's uncover the untold stories and fascinating intricacies of questions. The OGT is made up of 5 tests: reading, writing, mathematics, science, and social studies. These sections match the core school subjects and fulfill the high school testing requirement in reading, mathematics, and science under the federal No Child Left Behind Act. Each of the 5 sections is formatted differently, but they each contain multiple choice, short answer, and extended response questions. Total 38 questions. Each exam has approximately 6 extra questions that are being field tested for future OGT tests. Students are not penalized for incorrect answers on field tested questions. Students have up to 2.5 hours to complete each section of the test. Typically, the tests are split up so that there is only one per day for 5 days. Let's now turn our gaze towards testing dates and explore the fascinating connections it has to offer. The OGT is first given to students in the spring of their sophomore year. If they do not pass all 5 sections, they can continue to retake the exam. The OGT is administered in the fall October, spring March, and summer June each year. Not all schools offer the summer OGT, but students can be directed to one that does. Summer testing also requires a student to take at least 10 hours of preparatory programs beforehand. A typical student will have 7 opportunities to pass the OGT before he or she is scheduled to graduate. Let's now turn our attention to accommodations and uncover the fascinating insights it brings to the table. There are special accommodations of the OGT for students with special needs. These accommodations include tests with readers, in large print, and different languages like Spanish, Chinese, and Somali. Students with an individualized education program (IEP) may be exempted from the requirement to pass all sections of the OGT or may take another assessment if the plan allows. For students with significant disabilities, There is an alternate assessment that requires a collection of evidence that demonstrates knowledge appropriate for the student's disabilities. Let's now turn our attention to alternative pathway and examine its role within a larger context. Passing all 5 of the OGT tests is required to earn an Ohio diploma for both public and private school students, excluding IEP issues. However, there is an exception for students who come very close. The alternative pathway lets students who meet 7 specific requirements to graduate without passing all 5 tests. High school guidance counselors determine if students qualify for this option. A student qualifies for the alternative pathway if they 1. Pass all the tests but one and earn at least a 390 on the failed test. 2. Have a 97% attendance rate, not including excused absences, for each of the last 4 years. 3. Have not been expelled in the past 4 years. 4. Have a GPA of 2.5 out of 4 in the subject area of the failed test. 5. Complete the high school curriculum requirements. 6. Have taken intervention programs to help their performance on the tests and have a 97% attendance rate, not including excused absence, in those programs. And 7. Receive a letter recommending graduation from each of the student's high school teachers in the subject area of the failed OGT and the student's high school principal. Without further ado, let's move on to the topic of Ohio reforms. In 2009, the Ohio legislature passed an education reform bill that, among other things, called for the OGT to be replaced. To receive a diploma, students will have to earn a certain composite score drawn from a new 3-part assessment system, a national standardized assessment such as the ACT that assesses science, mathematics, and English language arts, a series of end-of-course exams in English language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies, a senior project by a student or a group of students. The academic content standards and the model curriculum must be finished before the new assessment system can be developed to assure alignment. Work will begin on developing this new system in 2011. There is no set date for the beginning of the new assessment system, but the 2013-2014 school year has been targeted. The OGT will be phased out until 2022. Get ready for an exciting part as we dive into national assessments. Also in 2009, the federal Race to the Top $4.35 billion incentive program was announced. It included up to $350 million for common assessment development. Various consortia of states formed to compete for this grant. Ohio signed memorandums of understanding with 2 groups, Smarter Balance and Achieve. Whatever assessment systems these groups design may supersede the modified Ohio Achievement Assessment Grades 3-8, the 3-part assessment system, and the composite score passed by the Ohio legislature. In the next phase, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of criticisms and exploring its real-world applications. The OGT receives many of the same criticisms as other state standardized tests. Chief among them is that the assessments drive instruction, give students increased testing anxiety, and test preparations distract from classroom learning. The activist, perennial candidate, and former 98 Degrees singer Justin Jeff filed a formal letter of complaint asserting the OGT is unfair according to guidelines set forth in the Ohio Administrative Code. Remember to follow me on social media for behind-the-scenes content and updates.